This is my dad, Police Chief Jimmy Carter. Right now, he's receiving a commendation from the president himself. To the world, he's a hero. But to me, he's the reason I've never stayed out past 9, never been to a party, never made a choice that was truly mine. Be perfect. Be safe. Trust no one. My whole life has been a cage everyone admires from the outside. I was lucky to have Noah by my side. We grew up together, and he was always there, quiet, patient, remembering the little things no one else noticed, like how I love chocolate pudding or how I bite my lip when I'm nervous. Sometimes I wondered if we could be more, but I was afraid. Afraid of ruining what we had, of my dad's reaction, of wanting something that might not even be real. Then Leo transferred in, and everything shifted. He was handsome, but cold and guarded, like he carried secrets too heavy for anyone else. I should have stayed away, but then the letters started coming, words that saw straight through me. You smile for everyone, but I see the sadness you hide. If I ever disappear, remember I loved you first. I thought they were from Noah, that he'd finally found the courage, until my phone lit up with a messenger. Did you like the letters? It was Leo. The boy who barely spoke had been watching me all along. He told me he understood what it felt like to wear a mask every day, to forget who you are underneath. We started meeting in secret, and for the first time, I felt like I could breathe. Every stolen moment felt electric, forbidden, real. Noah didn't trust Leo from the start, kept saying something felt off, but I thought he was just being overprotective. Besides, Noah was seeing sin now, the girl everyone wanted. So what did it matter who I dated? Leo always asked about my family, especially my dad, his work, his schedule, his cases. I thought he was just trying to understand my world. Sometimes he'd disappear without explanation. Other times he'd quietly step outside to take a call, even when we were together. Part of me wondered, but I was too happy to let doubt in. It kept happening. Mysterious calls, sudden exits. When I asked, he'd just say, "Family stuff, it's complicated." And I chose to believe him, because doubting meant admitting I might be wrong about everything. When Leo asked me away for the weekend, I knew my dad would never allow it. So I did something I'd never done before. I lied. I used Noah's name because my dad trusted him like a son. I hated myself for it, but I was desperate for 2 days of freedom. And just like that, I disappeared with a boy my father knew nothing about. For 2 days, we existed in our own universe. We talked about everything and nothing, watched the sunset paint the sky, fell asleep counting stars. He held me like I was precious, looked at me like I was his entire world. "I've never felt this with anyone," he whispered, and I believed every single word. I woke up happier than I'd ever been, thinking maybe this was what freedom tasted like. On the way home with Leo, my phone finally regained signal. I saw it. 53 missed calls from Noah. His last message just said, "Don't trust him. Please call me back." Noah was waiting at my house. I'd never seen him look so worried. "I've been trying to reach you for 2 days," he said, voice breaking. "Emily, Leo isn't who you think he is." He showed me everything. Photos, documents, connections to people my dad had investigated for years. And then he showed me the article. The Mafia boss my dad killed 5 years ago in that shootout everyone celebrated. Leo's father. They had the same eyes, the same face. I screamed at Noah, told him he was making it up, that he couldn't stand seeing me happy with someone else. But he made me look at the dates, the timeline. Leo showing up wasn't fate. It was planned. After Noah left, I couldn't stop my brain from connecting the dots. Every question about my dad's schedule, every time he steered conversations toward that shooting, the way he tensed when Jimmy's name came up, The signs were everywhere. I just didn't want to see them. Following the address Noah sent me, I went to Leo's house. And that's when I saw who he really was. This wasn't the boy who danced with me on the beach. This was someone who commanded criminals. Every soft word he'd ever said to me evaporated. This was the truth. I didn't sleep that night, just kept replaying every moment, wondering what was real and what was performance. Then everything came crashing down. My phone rang, unknown number. Something told me to answer. "Your father's been brought in," the nurse said. "There was an incident. You should come immediately." I ran to the hospital, where my dad was surrounded by cops, bandaged but alive. Leo lay in the bed beside him, one shoulder heavily bandaged. I didn't need anyone to explain. I knew what had happened. I needed a moment to breathe, to process everything. So I excused myself. That's when they appeared. Two men in black, and before I could scream, they had me. They dragged me into an empty room, closed the door behind us. The taller one got right in my face. "You know why our boss is handcuffed to a bed? Because of you. We were supposed to kill your father tonight," the other one said. "But he saved him, threw everything away." "I don't understand," I whispered. He laughed bitterly. "He loves you. That's the whole fucking problem. He betrayed his own family, took bullets for the man who murdered his father, all for you." In that moment, everything became clear. Leo's love was real. Then Leo appeared, kicking the door open, his face more serious than I'd ever seen. He pulled me into his arms, held me like he'd never let go. Later that night, we found ourselves on the hospital rooftop. "Tell me everything," I said. "The truth." He looked at me with those tired, honest eyes. "It started as revenge. I was supposed to make you fall for me, then destroy your father through you. I planned it all," he said. "Every letter, every conversation, every moment was calculated." He paused. "But then," he looked at me, "I fell in love with you, and that's why I hate myself. Loving you was never part of the plan." "I trusted you," I whispered. "I know," he said, voice breaking, "and that's why I'll never forgive myself." He pulled me close, and I let him. One last time. Because even knowing everything, I still loved him. We stood there, holding each other, as the city breathed below us. Knowing this was our ending. Weeks passed. I went back to life, but I carried him with me, not as a regret, but as a lesson. I kept one photo hidden in my drawer, a reminder that sometimes the wrong person teaches you the right lessons. Maybe some people come into your life not to stay, but to show you who you're capable of becoming. That love doesn't always mean happy endings. Sometimes it means learning when to let go, and that's okay too.